So Leopard Skin, the new record, 5 albums in 7 years, plus the Michael Sweet stuff, etc.
Yeah.
So are you writing music every day? Because it seems like it.
Um, I write music under pressure,
Oh,
so I'm when I'm not writing, I'm noodling around with equipment and experimenting with sounds. And I guess that's kind of how I practice these days. I don't really go over my modes and scales and things like that so much anymore. But I'm always in the soundscape somehow.
hmm. So the reason I point up about how prolific you are is because the touring schedule has not slowed down either. So in other words, you keep going tour record in a good old school way. In other words, it seems like it's the most you've ever been on the road and the most you've ever been in the studio the last decade or so.
Yeah, it's a lot easier these days, for a band like us. You know, it just kind of comes down to, I think, all the band members agree on mostly everything. Like, 95% of everything is usually always agreed upon. Um, my managers are just amazing. When we butt heads, it's like such a good old fashioned, gentleman's conversation. It
Hmm.
starts with texting, then emailing, then we're all on the phone together. Well, you see, I see it this way. And so through that kind of back and forth, there's not a lot of yes men around, and there's not a lot of other people with ulterior motives. So things seem to get done quick. And now we're on Cleopatra Records, which is a great, great thing for us because I have such a long history with the owner of the label and his wife that now, they're really, the label is a bigger part of the conversation now than, let's say, Frontiers. Frontiers was kind of, dictatorial, and I was just no, 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 no. Because I didn't want to make AOR rock records, whatever the fuck those are. I don't even know what those are. But
Yeah.
they kept me on for a long time, because they're making bucks. I mean, this is a business.
Yeah.
And so was able to kind of squeak away from that and get with Brian at Cleopatra, and all the guys at Cleopatra are cool, and they're local here in LA. And now we're at a point where everything's just fun.
Yeah. So when I look at what's going on, another thing that's evolved for LA Guns that I'm really embracing is you guys are now funny, publicly funny. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the hit records, everything was serious. And then you look
Yeah.
at a music video like Taste It, and there's humor. Like, let's say you didn't love LA Guns, you would still love that music video. So who came up with that treatment?
Um, there was five of us. Myself, Jason Wish, the main director, Jordell, who's the
Hmm.
main cameraman and the main kind of vision. He can make the vision happen.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Tremaine and his partner, the Jackass people. And we were just having these conference calls. And, I'm glad you brought this up because I just saw the new video, which is part two from that first video.
Oh, the day to interrupt you, the day continues because the contest he won?
Exactly.
Oh no.
So, and I can confidently say it's the best video LA Guns has ever made. It's for a song called Lucky Motherfucker. And it comes out, I think, on the 6th. So it's coming up pretty quick here. It's great. And it's funny. It's really funny.
It reminds me of some video leaked online of a wedding that you played at from a certain Alabama wrestling podcast
Yeah.
related person. That's the vibe that the Taste It video reminded me of in a
Right.
way.
Right. I mean, and those are the people we really are, you know. You know, Phil's British, so right away he has a very dry British sense of humor, which
Sure.
is kind of infectious. And then the rest of us are just a bunch of knuckleheads, who are really in this to have fun. and being as close as we are as a band with our crew and everything, never want to discount your crew because, if they're funny and characters and the band is funny and characters, and it's just like, it's the party you don't want to ever stop. It's great.
But there were so many years when you weren't supposed to be
Oh,
funny, you weren't supposed to act your age or anything like that. So
yeah.
I'd have to imagine, though, that the guy who wins the contest in the Taste of Video is kind of a common fan type that you've been seeing now for a lot of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Our fans are our age and older, and then we have a really weird thing because since we got back together, we built up a young fan base, who went back and adopted the image and stuff. So like,
Yeah.
I look down in the crowd and all the young people are up front, and I mean young, and they're so into it, which makes it really exciting for us. So I was like, whoa, what are y'all doing here? And then, so sort of the older insane rock fans are packed up against the back and they're just having the time of their life. So, it's just become more fun and a lot less serious. And, but musically, I'm always very serious when it comes to, what I'm trying to put together. And, because an album is like a 10-piece puzzle, and it's not that simple.
So if I can project a little bit more, this point in your career, it's like you're a cottage industry, and I mean that in a good way. You're not worried about hits. You're not worried about, oh, we need to get on this package tour and pay our dues and play the 25-minute opening thing in the amphitheater.
Yeah.
You just kind of go where you want to go and the fans follow. When did you kind of realize that you were going to be okay and that for the rest of your life, you got this?
I realized we were going to be okay in 2017. It took that long.
Wow.
It takes a long time. Even when Ballad of Jane was flying through all the radio stations and MTV and Never Enough and Kiss My Love Goodbye and It's Over Now. It was like, oh my God, because when Jane came out, we had a complete audience shift. It was like, all these people will come to our shows and they could give a fuck about our rock music, and then we play Ballad of Jane and the place go, there's the song.
The song. Ugh.
It's like, oh my God, and I battled so hard for us to wait to put that song out on a later record, but we did it early. And, but still I love playing it, and people now, but now the crowd's very mixed. And I think my hiatus from the band was a really good thing for the band and for the fans to look forward to something. And I think we've been delivering. I think, I mean, I write the shit for myself. So, and I always kind of have. So the fact that people are still buying the records and we're still signing, renewing record deals every, year to 18 months. And we're still doing, big shows, and we tour with Tom Kiefer from Cinderella a lot. We have the same management and the same agent. So like, that's real easy too. And, we love touring with Tom because we only have to play an hour. So we can really give it, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we get that hour. And then we do our own headlining stuff and we go, yeah! And then it gets towards the end. It's like, is it time to play Jane yet?
Yes, understood. The curse of having a hit ballad where you don't want to kill all the vibes. And
well, I mean, it's just that's like the marker in the set. It's like the landmark. Like, oh, okay, we're almost done. I can go backstage and lay on the couch, and talk to my girlfriend. It's just I just turned 59. Phil is 68, so we really can give you a good hour. And then we start getting silly, and it's just nature.
so 3 quick questions and then I let you go. And the first one is, are you done with side projects or do you still have goals and aspirations outside of LA Guns?
I don't know about side projects so much. I've done so many recordings and written with so many people that I think at some point it becomes counterproductive because it's like, man, this motherfucker puts out a record every 3 months. And it's like, they're all good, and I love working with other people. But I think that if I can just concentrate and focus on LA Guns all the time, I do want to put another band together that is not like an all-star kind of thing, something, very cheeky, kind of 60s inspired, fun rock with fuzz pedals and garage rock. But that's just purely a personal thing, for me to do musically, not really meant for human consumption. But as far as the big side projects and things like that, I'm definitely, I mean, I can't say I'm not ever going to do one, but for now, I'm definitely taking a break.
Okay, next question. You're on the road a lot. That's your day job, more or less. But what's the last concert that you went to for fun or for enjoyment?
Oh man, who did we just go see? I'm not even going to remember any of the names of the artists because my brain doesn't work. But my girlfriend and I went to downtown LA, kind of like Celebration of Mexico month. And there were all these 70s like soul stars. And it was fucking amazing. Sure. It was so great because it was right in downtown LA on the street at night. And it was a perfect night. There were taco trucks everywhere. The music was good. The people were good. The food was good. But as far as going to like a gig, I went and saw Greg Koch, which was amazing. Glenn Hughes.
Oh yeah.
Went and saw Glenn Hughes here in town twice. I went and saw him down south, and I saw him here close to LA, and just mind blowing. So I do go out when something piques my interest for sure.
He still has the voice. And
wow, you ain't kidding.
The last question is, what's your main way to decompress when you're not busy with music?
I spend time with my kids. My oldest son's 16, and he's really into go-kart racing, and he's really good. So we were doing that for a while, but now that he's in high school, completely dominating, that part of his life, like I don't see him as much because he's really into school and really doing that stuff. I work on I have some old cars. I got a 59 Apache truck and a Corvair and stuff like that. And I tinker. I'm a
tinker,
typical tinker guy, from California,
Tinkerer, and you're still in California. So kudos to that. And looking forward to seeing you live in New York in the near future. Thank you for the decades upon decades of great art.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure, and there's nothing else I can do.
Paltrocast.